Hello dear students, welcome to the online education of class 7 science. So dear students, in the previous class I was explaining about the respiration in organisms, the new lesson we have started in the previous class. So in the previous class I was explaining about why do we breathe, okay, why do we respire, that I was explaining. So a cell is a structure, smallest structural and functional unit of any organism. So each cell of an organism performs certain kinds of function, okay, so such as nutrition, respiration, excretion, etc., transportation, reproduction, okay. So in order to perform these all functions, all the cells of the body needs energy. So this energy is consumed by whenever we do different activities, okay. So then from where does this energy come? Okay, so this energy comes from stored food, okay, stored energy which is there in the food. So whenever we eat the food, so that stored energy present in the food is released, and that will reach to the each and every cell of the body. So finally that will help the organisms to perform different functions, okay. So this stored energy in the food is released during the respiration process. Therefore all the living organisms, they respire to get the energy from the food, okay. So at this point we have stopped in the previous class, okay. So this stored energy is released during the process of respiration. Therefore all the living organisms, they get the energy from food which they consume, okay. So what happens during breathing? So during breathing we breathe in air, okay. So during the breathing what happens here? We breathe in air, we take in air. So that air contains oxygen, okay. So we breathe out air which is rich in carbon dioxide. When we breathe in, the air goes inside, so that it contains oxygen. When we breathe out, the air going out, so that is rich in carbon dioxide, okay. So the air we breathe in is transported to all the parts of the body. Whatever the air what we breathe, so which contains oxygen, it is transported to all the parts of the body, and ultimately to each and every cell. Ultimately it reaches the cell also, every cell it reaches, okay. So in the cells what happens? This oxygen in the air helps in the breakdown of food. See, this is very very important. So what happens here? When this oxygen reaches each and every cell, so in the cell what happens? So oxygen which is present in the air help in the breakdown of the food item which we have consumed, okay. So the process of breakdown of food item in the cell with the release of energy is called cellular respiration. This is very very important. Remember all of you, what is cellular respiration? The process of breakdown of food in the cells of every organism. So with the release of energy, by releasing energy, so this process is called cellular respiration. So cellular respiration takes place in the cells of all the organisms. So where does the cellular respiration takes place? The cellular respiration takes place in the cells of all the organisms. So now in the cell the food is broken down, okay, as we said now, the food or glucose, so it is broken down into carbon dioxide and water. So that will be broken down by using the oxygen into carbon dioxide and water. It breaks down into carbon dioxide and form water using oxygen present in the air, okay. So when the breakdown of glucose occurs with the use of oxygen, then it is called aerobic respiration. In any respiration process, if the breakdown of food takes place with the presence of oxygen or by using the oxygen, then it is called aerobic respiration. Food can also be broken down without using oxygen also. We can break down the food even without using the oxygen. So this process is called anaerobic respiration. The breakdown of food which takes place in the absence of oxygen, without oxygen, and such a process is called anaerobic respiration. So breakdown of food release enormous amount of energy. So during the breakdown of food, so more amount of energy is released, okay. So how it is, let's see with the example. Look at the equation here. So glucose, okay, it is going to break down with the use of oxygen. With the help of oxygen it is going to break down and release carbon dioxide and water with enormous amount of energy. So this is an example for aerobic respiration. So in other case what happens here? There are some organisms such as yeast that can survive without oxygen. In the absence of oxygen, such organisms they can survive. For example, yeast, they can survive without oxygen, okay. So in the absence of air, so they are called what? Anaerobes, because the type of respiration they do is anaerobic respiration, hence they are called anaerobes. Okay, they all get energy through the anaerobic respiration. They will get the energy. So in the absence of oxygen, so glucose breaks down into alcohol and carbon dioxide as shown in the given diagram. So in the absence of oxygen, what happens here? The glucose then also breakdowns. Without use of oxygen, then the breakdown of food takes place, but it forms alcohol plus carbon dioxide. Okay, no water. So alcohol plus carbon dioxide is released. So energy is released. So dear students, I hope you understood this concept of aerobic and anaerobic respiration. So let me continue the remaining part of the lesson in the tomorrow's class. Thank you and have a nice day.